Hello, three-wheelers around the world. Welcome back. This is your next episode of Three Wheeling Matters. So before we do get into the episode, it's great to have a little bit of downtime when we're here at the Alaman TT 2025, because that means we get to pull a few people into the studio and get some more of these episodes. So joining me today is my co-host, the great Chat Laidlow.
Hello, Hailey. How are we doing? All right?
Wonderful. We're nice and warm and dry, aren't we? The weather is a challenge. It's this crazy rock in the middle of the Irish Sea has how us locals would call it scatty weather quite often. And today is a scatty day of weather, but we just take advantage of that by pulling everyone in the studio, don't we, Jack? So it's not... We're not complaining, really, are we?
Really, no. Not when we've got the fantastic guest as well. We've got so on this episode we have got the fantastic newcomer pairing of Éric and Anaïs Rosset. Now I've pronounced that right, haven't I?
Right.
Yeah, perfect. So we've only got one there. So you've had your newcomer lap this morning, and
we have indeed, yes.
Obviously, Éric, you've had a little bit of TT experience before, and we'll come on to that in a little bit. Yep. But you've done one lap of the infamous course. What's it like?
It's a bit bumpy. it can get a little bit bumpy in spots. It's coming back home. It's something that I've missed for a long time. But yeah, there's nothing like it. There's no other situation. Whether it's your preference or not, it's just a unique environment. It's a unique circuit. It's just different. So there's nothing to compare it to.
And Anaïs, what do you think of it all? What's it like to passenger?
Firstly, it's incredible to be here for real. I've watched so many videos, and now we passed grandstand, start line, so on. We're here, and the dreams come true. And secondly, I'm glad that we did 1100 last year, because I started to get used to bumps. So I was much more relaxed as not really relaxed, but if I didn't had this previous experience, it would have been really difficult.
So it's a big shock, all the bumps and the different style of passenging and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's difficult to be relaxed, and we did only one lap, so the race is 3 laps. And so it's not easy.
Yeah, no, yeah, but that's what practice week is for.
Yeah.
Even as you say, it might be a bit scatty, but I think
exactly. But talking about the Southern 100, we've got a great video actually up on the YouTube channel called Shark Attack.
Yeah.
The livery that you had on your outfit last year at the Southern 100 was one you couldn't miss.
Oh, I'm not going to lie, I did actually download that video.
Good, that's it. Therefore.
Well, yeah, we've sort of stuck with that style for a bit and that look. I got to admit, it attracts the children more than anything else, and that sort of that amuses me as much because I'm probably just a big child. We actually, our previous outfit was the same theme, but it was all green with the shark teeth and the same sort of World War II. And then we got something faster, so I need to now have a style a bit more jet fighter look, but in the same theme, yeah. But as we don't have any sponsors to hide the lovely look, we've got something that at least stands out, yeah.
Absolutely.
It pulls a lot of attention, and that I like, yeah.
It does. Now, coming back to, you've obviously been here before, so coming back to the TT course, Éric, you've spent a few years on the solos, and we were just briefly discussing before we started the podcast the difference between you transitioning from the solos to your experience in the sidecar going around. So fill us in a little bit on that.
It's been a few years already since I've been here. Last time I think it was 2018. So it's been a bit of a break, but yeah, it starts again. I know where the track goes, but everything else is different. First thing, we're so much lower, so I don't see anywhere near as much. That difference is actually quite important, the amount of visibility. And the second thing is suspension. Bikes have suspension. We've got suspension, so it's much more bumpy, but you know, it still goes the same way. It's still going to run around, but yeah, it is for me like starting again. I've got no pretensions to say that, you know, I know my way around this place, because I know my way around on 2 wheels. Now we're starting at 0. Yeah.
But does this little bit of experience help you, Anaïs? You know, having this experience, riding with this sort of little bit of experience, to help you guide it and stuff like that.
Well, sometimes I might switch in French.
Yeah.
So I'm really confident because he knows where we are. And also he helped me a lot to learn before we came here.
That is one big advantage in this process, is the fact that I didn't have to spend so much time knowing where the track goes. So, you know, with the newcomer laps or the weekends with Dave Molyneux, Dave was excellent, but we could concentrate more on what to do, not what corner is coming up. You know, what's important to do here, what's not important. This is one that you really need to work on. This one, not so. This one, blah, blah, blah. So that was the advantage, less of that energy in, okay, remembering what comes after this corner. It's more about how to handle this corner. So that was an advantage for me. But yeah.
So how did you like learn and relearn the circuit then? What did you find was the most useful? Those newcomer weekends or videos online? Or?
For relearning, it was the newcomer weekends, because it's for me, it wasn't learning where it goes. I've still watched again the videos like before, still watching videos every day, just rolling out laps and laps and laps. But it was really the information, the feedback direct, when somebody can tell you, this is important, this is not. You know, this is what you need. This one, don't mess around with this. This one, blah, blah. So that was really good. And yeah, I know Dave got thrown into the role last minute, but fantastic.
Priceless.
Yeah.
Priceless for you guys.
Having that sort of experience and an energy to share it, you know, he's really into it. It's fantastic.
Anaïs, you had onboards that you were tapping into. What were your favourite onboards to use to study?
I think one of my favorite onboards is from Team Reeves. With I don't remember which year.
Yeah, about 2011, I think.
Yeah. Also the onboards. In fact, we noticed that passengers do not do the same.
Yeah.
So when we compare, it's very different. Some are walking very often, some of us not, but they are quick anyway. So I was just, let's see what I will do. Perhaps I don't need to do as much corners as we can think at first sight.
There's lots of people that are really keen to help. Lee has been fantastic.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's lots of other passengers that are giving advice, and it's fantastic. But we notice that two people give the same advice. So there is that aspect of filtering, I think, of saying, okay, this is what's important, this is what we need to do. And I guess the idea at the first is to probably do more than necessary and take it back rather than make an error.
There's an analogy goes around of like taking a bucket full of advice, putting all the advice in that bucket, and then thinking, that's not very good, or I'll have that bit of advice. And
that's the same in pretty much everything in life. But yeah, it's just not the same consequence as everything in life. So yeah, but no, the process has been fantastic. You know, doing the newcomers weekend was fantastic. It's a hassle to come over and do all that, but it's still really worth it.
Yeah.
And Lee was fantastic as well. Yeah.
So just going back to like your previous experience with stuff and all, what made you decide to go from a solo onto a sidecar then all those years ago?
Do you want me to go through my history in sidecars? So
well, yeah, go. Why not?
It's
a brief insight.
Yeah. Okay. So I was a solo guy. Well, we didn't call them solos because they were just motorcycles. And I was still back in Australia. Circuit racing, and I had a friend. We were three friends that were racing together. One who had a big crash and injured himself badly, couldn't ride solos anymore. So he bought a sidecar, and he said, "I'm going to drive the sidecar. I need a passenger." And me and my other friend said, "Okay, we'll be passengers," but basically with zero experience, zero understanding what you're going to do, and zero preparation. So what would happen is, the next race is in an hour. Well, I've got a race straight after. Well, I can't do it, so he will. And then he can't. So we're just jumping in and out. And it was shits and giggles. We had a ball. It was a 750 Classic. We were no good, but we had so much fun. And we did that for 2 seasons. And then I moved away. I moved to France. So that sort of stopped there. and coming to Europe, I wanted to get back into real road racing, or wanted to get into real road racing. So I started doing the Czech Championship and a few other things, Oliver's Mount, the Southern, and of course the Manx. I passed by the Manx because I was a 250 GP rider. I like my 2 strokes, so you couldn't do that at the TT, so I went straight to the Manx. And in doing that, I had another friend who'd raced the TT and Sidecar, said, you know your way around it, you've raced there. I've got a friend who's looking for a passenger, Claude Montagnier. And I'm like, okay, with a bit of a why not idea. So I went and saw him and we did a test day. And after 2 laps, we both agreed, no, I'm a long way from being ready for this. So no, that's not going to happen. But in the paddock, another guy, I'm looking for a passenger, a bit of a discussion, a couple of phone calls, and I jumped on a classic sidecar. Oh, wow. With the guy who makes these chassis, Bernard Dragonet, and started passengering with him. And from there, eventually, I got sacked. I got replaced.
Oh, right, I see.
She took my place. Well, you know, it's just I moved on, and Anaïs stepped in as passenger for the same guy. And there came a time I said, oh, I want to drive here. So I stopped solo racing to do the sidecar because I wanted to do this as a couple. The idea was to share this experience because, you know, when your partner's not in it and you come home and you're full of adrenaline, you've just lived this incredible experience, you can't explain it. And even worse, often they're like, why would you want to do that? That's just silly. I don't see the advantage. And I don't try and sell it to people anymore. You either get it or you don't. Yeah. Some people will just say, that's stupid. And if that's what you think, that's fine. But yeah, I wanted to introduce my partner into that world. Come and live this crazy experience and know what it's like to just have so much adrenaline, so much excitement.
What a sweet story that is. What a fantastic story.
It's so true though, isn't it? When something fires you up so much, you want to share it and you want to hope the person that you share your life with gets that fired up feeling. And when you can both enjoy that fired up feeling, I mean, it must be the most incredible thing to enjoy together. I bet you can never switch off from it.
No,
why would you want to?
Yeah, it's a great experience. I've got to say, we've always been lucky. I've always got this idea in my head that if the weekend goes great, things are great. If the weekend goes bad, it's going to be a long drive home. But we haven't had that.
Oh, that's good then.
we haven't had. We're pretty much the same mentality, the same vision, so it works. But yeah, that was the motivation, was to share this unique experience. And
Anaïs, your first experience getting on the sidecar as a passenger, how long ago was that?
My first experience was in 2018. It was in France with in Classic, BMW, and the first session was, what's this shit? The session was if the driver asks me for the season, I will refuse. And the third session, we had a great battle with friends. And I said, "Oh, it's fantastic." It took me some time to enjoy it, to be confident, but after that, of course, he offered me to continue the season.
And I got sacked.
And after, yes, I stopped riding with him because he retired. So that was just when Éric came back from America. And we started in F2 in France.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic.
And the guy off camera over there is responsible for bringing her into this world, who's another sidecar passenger. So she come to the meeting because he invited her to come and try it. So it's his fault.
Ah, very good. Merci.
But the classic racing in France, we've just come from the pre-TT, haven't we, Hailey? And it was fantastic down there. There were a lot of European people on the podium, really. But there's a great classic racing scene in France, isn't there? Really, it's a lot stronger than over here on the domestic, I think.
No, they've both gone down a little bit. It's still pretty good. It's probably 5 years ago was really strong. You know, there was every event, there were waiting lists on entries and things like that. Nowadays, it's gone a bit lighter. People are just moving around. And I think it's post-COVID, things have changed. But that's still a good scene. There's a very good level in there. There's some really good drivers in there. Yeah, classics are good fun. Classics are a lot of fun.
They certainly look it anyhow, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's bring it back to the now then. So we're here at the TT. You say you're finally here as a couple doing it for the first time. It's brilliant. What's your plans for this week then with the practice sessions? Are you just going to try and get out and get a few laps under your belt, or have you got a target or anything?
My target, well, I think it's ours, is qualify. I'm not setting the bar high. Ultimately, I want to do faster than I ever did on 2 wheels, but that doesn't have to happen this time around. You know, this is not a short-term plan.
Can I ask what mile an hour you did?
It was a 250 GP, and I've got 104.9 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good realistic target.
So that's not too extreme.
Yeah, definitely.
But that was, it was on a bike that would do 130 through the speed traps. So that means it was wide open all the time, the full bike. But yeah, so ultimately that's my goal. But this year we just ultimately get a couple of finishes medals and say, okay, this is what we've learned. This is the ground to build on. This is what we do next time.
Absolutely fantastic.
So to qualify, just to remind the viewers, it's 3 laps, isn't it?
It's 3 laps within a certain
4 laps for newcomers, isn't it?
But the newcomer lap classes as well.
Exactly.
So it's 3 laps in the qualifying race.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's 4 laps.
4 overall.
It's good that someone listens in the race, isn't it?
I'm that nerdy guy that's read all the rules and keep on contacting people. Are you sure that's how that's supposed to be worded? And I'm like, oh yeah, but yeah. So it's 4 laps, and then the qualifying time is 115 of third place.
Of third place, yes. Yeah. There we go. Hey, tell you what, I think my job's going to go soon, isn't it?
Well, I've got to read that at least that much before getting here. Otherwise, we're going to say, okay, what do we need to do? Yeah. Oh no!
So hopefully qualifying should be a good idea. Really. Yeah. A good idea. Obviously, it's a good idea. I lost my words really.
Achievable. Is that what you're looking at?
Yes.
That's me. Well, we wouldn't have done this if we didn't think it was achievable. That's not going to invest all this time and energy. But I know how this game works. You can have engine failures. We can lose time. We can have a little bit of rain sometimes, which will make things... But you can make things a bit complicated, huh?
That's a little bit.
Wonderful. Well, listen, thank you for coming in and sharing more of your story. Yeah. How was your first podcast experience, Anaïs?
Thank you very much.
Done. Never been in the studio before. Thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best, and we look forward to chatting to you when we're on the lives as well, up there on the paddock and in the pits.
Okay.
Éric, Anaïs, thank you so much for your time. So that was us with 2 very special guests and newcomers. We've got more from them this week when we do touch base with them on the lives, but just a little reminder, if you go to motorisle.shop, you can buy the merchandise. If you want to buy the merchandise, we have a little discount code for you. It's TT2025. You can get 10% off. You can purchase modelled by 2 presenters, and there's also new range on there as well for this year. So please do check it out. Go and take advantage of that discount code, and send us some pictures and tag us in actually when you do get the merch. Show us what it looks like. So for now, that's us from the studio. 3 wheeling matters. By the sport, for the sport.